Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, May 1st, and today we will cover the trades for YieldMax funds, TSLY, CONY, NVIDIA, MSTY, SMCY, and PLTY. And also, it's the end of the month. April is done for, so I will be adding some coverage on my, updating you on my Retire Now account at the end of this video. Of course, that would also be after my options update, my options account update. So first, let's get to the trades and see what happened yesterday for YieldMax. Right now, as you can see, CONY is at the top. So CONY had a trade. Who else? SMCY had a trade, a lot of them. They were tanking, as we know. PLTY had a trade, right? And then that's it, right? And then that's pretty much the end of it. I know there's a comment on the YMAG. It's not there today. Why they were buying some funky funds. But the YMAG that's on the bottom, I believe that's the international YMAG. So again, that may be a little different from the YMAG that we're used to. So, but anyway, let's get to MSTY and see what they did. Again, they did not have a trade. So just kind of an update. Again, they have two synthetics, a 330 and a 340. MSTR is currently at 380.11, so it's 15% above the 330 and 11% above the 340. So great spot to be in. As far as yesterday is concerned, kind of a flat day. MSTR went down 0.35%. MSTY actually went up 0.04%. So it looks like, some time value went by on their calls, which is fine. Now, as far as the holdings, obviously, again, we don't go through them here anymore because it's just too much and it's too hard to read. So we go to the holdings tab for that, where I summarize it. And this is where we stand. So again, they haven't made a trade all week, which is awesome. Again, sometimes I say the best move is no move. Let it play out. And the fact that they're letting it play out, look how close it is. It's going to be a close one when all said and done, but we'll see where we end up. Right now, we have four calls, a 382.50, a 385, 390, and 392.50. The lowest strike, though, is 0.63% out of the money, but at least it's still out of the money. The highest strike is only 3.26% out of the money. So, yeah, of course, it's going to be tight, but keep in mind, our synthetics, they're whooping ass, and they can cash them out at any point in time, but they do expire not next week, but I believe the week after. But yeah, we'll confirm that in a second. Finishing off the weeklies tab, though, outstanding shares did increase by 275K. Again, so slow movement, I guess, in the outstanding share realm. We see like there's a decline, decline of 350K, then an increase of 125K, then an increase of 275K. So obviously people selling maybe for a profit, or maybe they don't want MSTY. I don't know, but who the hell cares, right? Anyway, here's the recap. 30-day IV 66%, outstanding shares 134 mil, 475,000. Total net income, unfortunately, it's a loss of 86 mil. Because their calls got blown through in weeks prior. MSTR funds update. I actually did not check the strategy up the website. I'm assuming they did not buy any Bitcoin. But one thing to note is MSTR actually has earnings tonight after hours. So yeah, I guess I probably need to update the earnings 5. After that, we'll see if they have anything fun to say. But yeah, we know MSTR had a flat day. They went down 0.35%. MSTY went up 0.04. IMST went down 0.09%. So they both beat MSTR. However, MSTY did beat IMST again. Reaction, I didn't update that. All good. But whatever. Group D declares in 6 days. So they're up next. So their guesstimate will happen Sunday morning. And I guess technically, we are waiting still. We're just waiting for the week to go by and time to expire. So speaking of declaration date, how much income do we have? We have 329 mil in synthetic income. Deduct out what we lost on the weeklies, which is 86 mil. Then that produces 243 mil in net income. And that comes to 181 per share, which is still, pretty good money. It's not $2. But, keep in mind how much we have in the synthetics on paper, waiting to be cashed out. So again, I'll say it just like I did yesterday. I'm thinking the low will be the IV rate. The IV is 67%. So the low distribution could be $1.25 on the low end. And then the high distribution could be $1.81. But, time will tell. Now, we talked about the synthetics. So how much money is it worth? How much money are these synthetics worth? They have two, the 330 and the 340. If you add both of them together, they total 416 mil, which comes to about 310 per share. And again, if you look at the expiration date of these, May 16th is the expiration. So, this Friday's what, May 2nd, then we got May 9th, and then we got May 16th. So obviously, May 16th does fall after declaration date, unfortunately. So it is possible that they let these go until, after declaration date. They may or may not, though. From past experience, they typically close them earlier than, the expiration week. But we'll see, man. All right, so the value of the fund is 3.2 bill. The NAV is 24.37, and the trade price is 24.34. And real quick, too, someone asked the other day, why don't they cash the synthetics out now? And I think I don't know if I answered them, but, in the end, does it really matter? I mean, it matters for the latest distribution, sure. But keep in mind, if they were to close these out, they're going to open new ones right away. So they're going to take the gains or the losses on the new ones regardless. So again, in the end, they're still mimicking the movement of the underlying. So whether they cash it out today or tomorrow, next week, it really, in the end, plus or minus, a few dollars here and there, whatever, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just a matter of timing and when, they have the taxable income, the realized income. And that, obviously that would change my guesstimate, but which means nothing in this scheme of things. It's just my guesstimate. It doesn't mean has nothing to do what they're actually doing, because we don't know what they're doing. But we're just going to, take our best guess, because at the moment, the synthetic is worth a lot of money and it expires soon. And if they cash it out, we're basically saying they made this much per share, which they could pay out later, of course. But of course, we have to consider sometimes they do boost up the most current distribution based on the most recent income that they did make. I don't know if I just confused the hell out of everyone, but I thought I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't even answer that question. But anyway, synthetic contracts, 85,015, and then total with insurance, basically 70% of them have the credit call spreads, aka insurance. All right, we're done with MSTY. IMST, no change to them. They still have the 350 strike that's in the money, 7.92% in the money. That expires May 16th. And then they have the 390, which expires May 9th. Not this week, but next week. That's 2.6% out of the money. And that's it. All right, let's go to the rest of the trades, and we'll go from there. So TSLY did not have a trade. So let's go real quick to TSLY and see how they did yesterday. Tesla went down. Oh, wow. Yeah, Tesla went down 3.5%. TSLY went down 2.39%. So rough day for Tesla. Synthetic wise, they have a 225 and a 280. Tesla is at 282.50. So, one synthetic, they're whooping ass, and the other is essentially at the money. Now, let's look at their positions for the remainder of the week. As we know, all of these expire Friday. So how they doing? Well, their lowest strike is 287.50. It's 1.89% out of the money. And then they got 4 strikes after that, 292.50, 300, 302.50, and 307.50. 1, 3, 6, 7, and 8% out of the money. How's that going to do? I don't know. I saw pre-market green, so it could be in danger. The value of the fund is just under $1 billion now. It's at 995 mil. The NAV is 837. Trade price 836. The synthetics are worth about $1.28 per share. 30-day IV of Tesla is 64%. IV estimate based on that, 41 cents. Income estimate, 25 cents. Group A declares in 13 days on May 14th. Up next is NVIDIA. They did not have a trade either. Yesterday, NVIDIA went down 0.09%. NVIDIA went up 0.28%. So great job, NVIDIA. Synthetic-wise, they have a 95 and a 110. NVIDIA's at 108, so doing pretty well with those. As far as holdings go, let's see. All of them expire May 2nd. And let's see how they're doing. They have 4 strikes, 110, 111, 113, and 114. The lowest strike is 0.99% out of the money. The highest strike is 4.66% out of the money. So are we safe? Is it good? Are we good to go with 2 trading days? No. But it's going to be close. Again, the market's been a little up, down, all around. So in the end, if it stays flat, that's wonderful. All right, the value of this fund is 1.2 billion. The NAV is 1433. Trade price 1438. NVIDIA's synthetic is worth 78 cents per share, so that's pretty good. 30-day IV of NVIDIA is 55.18%. IV estimate based on that, 61 cents. Income estimates negative. Group B declares in 20 days on May 21st. All right, up next is CONY, but they did have a trade, so I'm going to have to go back to the file. What did they do? Buy to close puts. Yeah, they closed some of the 185, which is actually in a good spot. So they made about 5.5 million. It looks like a forced closure on the synthetic. And then they closed out the call for the weeklies. They closed out the 220 strike, and they won that trade. Okay. Good job, man. Overall, they're making money yesterday. So CONY had a good day. Taxable income wise, of course. We'll see how the stock did. All right. Coin went down 1.6%. So maybe they didn't have a great day, but, for the calls, it looked pretty good. CONY went down 1.35%. So not as much, not a terrible day, but just a down day. And if we look at their synthetics, they have 3 strikes. They all expire May 16th. 185. Which is good, 195, which is good, and then 220, which is not good because coin is at 202 at the moment. We'll see if they can catch up to that. All right, as far as positions, everything expires May 2nd, which is this Friday, 2 trading days away. They have 3 strike prices, and they're in the best spot of the bunch. It looks like they have a 215. That's the lowest strike, 5.97% out of the money. A 217.50, 7% out of the money, and a 220, 8% out of the money. Not a bad spot. Pretty good setup for the week. Yeah, they did declare yesterday. I didn't even get to look at the freaking declarations yesterday. I'll get to it, and I'll probably cover it on the Sunday guesstimate video. But anyway, the value of the CONY fund is now under $1 billion. Why? Well, they had to take out some cash, man. They're in the negative cash now. They got to pay us, right? So they're paying us their distribution. So you see now the NAV is 746, but the closing trade price yesterday, 812. And you see the gap is 66 cents. So obviously that's near to what they did declare. Like I said, I don't know. I didn't look, but whatever. So, today is ex-dividend date. And no, if you buy today, you will not qualify for the distributions. You would have had to buy yesterday at the latest and hold until today, if that makes sense. All right, synthetic bailout, it's worth 43 cents per share. Not bad. 30-day IV, 67%. That's of coin. IV estimate is 42 cents. Income estimate is 0. I did not update it, but I need to. I think they're making money now. They started fresh now. So CONY, 5.3 mil they made yesterday. So again, we started the new cycle yesterday, declaration date 4/30. So new groups value totals. All right, their next declaration is in 27 days. All right, I had to take a sip of water. There's a lot of yip yap in here. feel like I need the heater. It's getting kind of cold. All right, SMCY is up. They had a brutal day. Let's take a look at the what they did though. Okay, yeah, here it is. Yeah, buy to close put. So they closed out their 35 synthetic, which they did that pretty fast. That expires May 16th. Stock price is at 31. Maybe they had to. Again, we don't know. Maybe they just did not want to risk early assignment, because some of these could be early assigned. Some of them are on the Flex exchange and cannot be. I forget, I always forget which one it is, but I believe maybe the synthetic is the one that can be early assigned. But either way, they moved their synthetic position from the 35 down to the 30, so they took a hit with that. It looks like they added 800 new contracts, and then they closed 6,000 on the 3850 call. That was a winner, right? Because obviously they won their calls because SMCY tanked. You don't want it to tank. You want it to it's okay to go down a little. But yesterday, we took an ass whooping. Here's another one they closed, 3850 strike, obviously clear winner. So they won that trade, and then they opened new trades into next week. So we'll take a look at all this fun stuff on the SMCI or SMCY files. SMCI overall for the day, they did go down 12.99%. SMCY pretty much went down with it, 11.84%. So yeah, when people complain YieldMax funds suck, SMCY sucks, well, look at the underlying. The underlying sucks, right? So which one is it, right? It's both pretty much, because SMCY, they mimic the movement of the underlying. On the downward, on the upward, plus or minus, a little different. So you see the plus or minus. Obviously on the downward, they typically don't go down as much as the underlying does, right? But on the upward side, sometimes they are capped, right? So they typically don't go up as much on the upward side. But yeah, so that's why SMCY, they're having a rough go at it, because the underlying is volatile as hell. They run into issues. Their earnings apparently sucked. I don't know. Do you know? Who the hell knows? But either way, let's look at their new synthetic. Again, still close expiration, May 16th, but whatever. They changed it to a 30 synthetic. Okay. We'll start fresh. Now, as far as the calls, anything in red I highlighted is for next week. Let's focus on this week. So obviously what they left for this week probably is going to look to be like to be okay. When I say okay, they're still going to be way out of the money. So they have 3 strikes for this week: 37, 37, 50, 38, 16, 17, and 19% out of the money. So unless SMCI blows through that, they ain't losing those. All right, and then in red, obviously that's for next week, which we don't have to worry about right now, but they're only 5, 8, and 9% out of the money. We'll see if SMCI does recover, though. Now, the NAV, or the total assets under management for the SMCY fund, is 123 mil. The NAV is 1729, and the trade price is 1774. I feel like I should turn the heater on. But, hold on a second. There you go. How's that? All right. Anyway, it's cold, but it's not cold, and whatever. Remember, we are in the garage recording, right? All right. So what do we say? The NAV is 1729. Yeah, all good. Anyway, the synthetic bailout. Yeah, who cares? It's worth 45 cents per share, but we just lost a crap load of money on the other synthetic. So let's. But again, we're starting fresh. Got to move on, right? Move on past that earnings call. Fresh day. Is SMCY a buy? I don't know. I'm not going there. 30-day IV, 91%. That's sweet. We like that. Again, we don't know about the underlying. This underlying sketchy as hell lately. IV estimate based on that, $1.24. Income estimate is negative. They're part of Group D, though, and they will declare next week, 6 days away on May 7th, so look forward to that. All right, last but not least, it's your boy PLTY. How you doing, PLTY? I'm good. How are you? PLTY had some trades, so let's go check them out. Yo, PLTY. Oh, by the close. The closing calls, huh? They're closing the 113. Wow, they got their ass whooped because they're at 118. Damn, that was 4.59% in the money. Hey, whatever. So they closed that out and they opened a new position, which looks. Oh yeah, next week, May 9th. Okay, and they sold a call at 138. Damn, 16% out of the money. That's pretty awesome. All right, I'll take it. That's pretty good actually. All right, let's get to the spreadsheet. All right. Yeah, I don't. Just so you guys know, I truly don't look at the only trades I look at is MSTY. These other ones, I just download the file. I don't look at it until, we cover the video. Not like, because I really don't have time to, honestly, and so that's and I'm looking at these for the first time with you guys. Obviously, I'm updating this spreadsheet here to make sure all the colors are coordinated for you guys. All right, so anyway, Palantir, they went up 1.99%. PLTY went up 1.21%. So obviously, there's some cappage going on here. So we'll have to take a look at the strikes, see what's going on. But we saw that they closed out something, and they got their ass whooped. So I'm guessing the other ones aren't going to be that pretty. Because why? Well, they're caps. 60% capture. But before we get there, they have a synthetic 100. Pretty sweet, right? Because Palantir is at 118. Palantir's been going up. So, that's a good thing. So here we go. Here's their calls. Anything in black expires in 2 trading days. Anything, I'm going to put this on low. There you go. Anything in red expires next week. So obviously, they just open those trades for next week. So let's see where we stand. Oh, yeah, we are in the money. We are cappity-doo-dah, cappity-day, cap, what a wonderful day. So PLTY funds, PLTY calls, they are capped. But it's okay, man, it's okay. They got their synthetic backing them up, and they even got these little butt buddies down here ready to save the day. So you go up a little more, the butt buddy gonna back you up, right? So don't mess with me, bro. I got protection. But anyway, right now, obviously, they're 2.9% and 2.06% in the money. So more than likely, they'll either today or tomorrow. Obviously, they'll have to do it by tomorrow. Close these out, take the hit, open the new trades for next week, and then we'll move on. Will they cash out this synthetic at the same time? Well, if they do, how much are they going to make per share? Well, forget what that's from, but it's from something. 1034 per share. Are you freaking kidding me? Good God. Anyway, the value of the fund is 287 mil. The NAV is 65.35. The closing trading price 65.50. 15-cent gap, but whatever. Who cares? 30-day IV. Wow, 86%. IV estimate based on that 436. Realized income estimate already 1088. Again, unrealized income, addition 1034. If they cash this, could you imagine an income estimate of $20? Whew. Again, they're just going to keep, like I said, $5, $5, $5, $5. We're going to keep getting $5. They should have paid $5 last time, I think, but I don't know. They may make so much money, they're going to have to pay $6, $7, or $8. Who knows? But anyway, that's not for a while because Group B declares when? 20 days. May 21st, okay? All right, so that ends the coverage on the YieldMax funds, but we will go to the pre-market, and we'll see what's going on for the day. What's going on today, guys? Let's see. Study finds AI isn't hurting employment, but may be limiting pay. Okay, great to know. Thank you very much, Market Watch. All right, here we go. Tesla is up someone's flying. 0.57%, 283.77. Tesla is up 0.72%, 842. Nvidia is up. Wow, holy crap. Did they have earnings yesterday? They may have, I don't know. There obviously something happened. They're up 4.2%, 113.50. NVIDIA is up. Cappage, 2.43%, 1473. Coin is up, damn, 2.41%, 207.78. CONY's up 2.29%, 764. MSTR is up. Oh my, the MSTR is freaking blowing up, man. They are up 2.52%, 389.68. MSTY is up 1.68%, 24.75. T to the S to the L to the L. They're up 0.98%, 1035. My calls ain't liking that. TNA, they're up to 1.1%, 2574. AMZ's up 2.63%, 1563. And the Bitcoin is up 1.39%, 95,466. BetaX is up 3.17%, 4552. Saxo is up 3.7%, 1261. And SMCI is up 2.79%, 3275. SMCY is up 1.01%. 1792. Palantir is up 1.52%, 120.24, and then PLTY is up 0.76%, $66. So yeah, SMCI after that big sell-off, they're coming back up a little bit, 2.79%. So yeah, that usually, for the most part happens. So we'll see how it recovers and all that jazz. All right, so that's the pre-market. Now what we'll do is we'll talk about how my options trades went yesterday, and then we'll go into my Retire Now account, which is my options trading account, plus a little more, and we can see the month-to-date numbers, and then we'll end it. But for those of you who are not hanging on, you're just here for YieldMax, I just want to say thank you for watching. For those of you hanging on, give me a second and I'll switch screens. Here we go. And first we'll cover the options trades, and then we'll go from there. It'll all connect. And by the way, yes, the dividend car account update, I didn't finish it. That'll be probably on tomorrow's video. End of month is kind of a pain in the ass. Especially, I got all these bills coming out, so I got to make sure I log that properly and, All right, so here we go. MSTY. MSTY has its own tab. Again, no new action. They have a put that's expiring this Friday. How's it doing? Well, this strike is 20. If MSTY goes below 20, I'll own 100 shares at 20. However, MSTY, it closed at 24.34, 17% out of the money with 2 trading days. This is going to expire worthless, no doubt about it. So I'll get my $2,000 in collateral back. And what I'll do is, like I said, I'll sell a put. Again, I'll have to debate. Should I sell a put this week knowing it's going to drop on, ex-dividend date next week? Is that priced into the premium? I don't know. I'll have to debate on that because, there's a lot of time value in a week because I don't really want to wait a week. But we'll see. Again, I might just do the trade. Who cares? All right, TSLY. Did I do anything yesterday? Yes, I did. Again, yesterday was April 30th. I believe they were down. So they were at 954. What I did is I sold a put that expires next week. $7 strike price, 26% out of the money. So a very, very safe play in my eyes. Only a 0.1 delta. I mean, does it get any safer than that? It paid me 15 cents per share or $15 total. So where do I stand heading into the rest of the week? Well, I mean, there's a lot going on. May 2nd, big day, right? How many calls do I got expiring? We got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 calls expiring tomorrow. And the strikety-doo-dahs, let's take a look. We got the lowest strike is 9. That's 12% in the money because TSLY closed at 10.25. So that's in the money. The 950 is in the money. And the 10 is in the money. And as you know, I do not want those to get assigned. So I will begin to roll them probably starting today. I'll roll the 9 and I'll roll the 950, and depending on how it goes, I may roll the 10. Probably not though. I'll probably leave that for tomorrow, because you never know. TSLL may tank tomorrow. I doubt it's gonna tank though enough to go under 9 and 950. So I'll just roll those suckers today. I'll collect the premium, and then we'll move on. All right, sound good? Great. Anything else for 5-2? No. All the other strikes are probably, they may expire worthless, but again, if they get in danger, I'll roll them as well. All right, so that's it for TSLL. NVDX for yesterday, I did nothing. Again, it's kind of the waiting game. We saw Nvidia's up though in the pre-market, so obviously I'm gonna have to roll these today, unless they get assigned early. And if they do, bye bye NVDX, and I can move on from trading it, because again, it's on its way out. I really don't care what happens with this. I'll roll these to hell though. I'll keep rolling until I get every last dollar of premium I can get out of these shares. I will, and then when they're assigned, they'll have to be assigned early. Or either that, or there will be no more premium on the rolling order. One of the two has to happen, and then the shares are going to go bye-bye. Obviously, yes, I'm also selling a put, which is, again, to me, who cares, right? I sold a put for $7, and now, obviously, NVDX is going to go up today. So, it's going to expire worthless probably. And again, I collected $28 for that. So, why the hell not? Again, fun times. All right, now TNA. Oh, I didn't hide these. I was supposed to hide these. If I do that. Sorry, give me 1 second. Hide. There you go. Wait, I want to hide these as well. Yeah, so these should have been gray. These expired, so. Okay. Better view. All right, so what's going on? First of all, what did I do yesterday? Well, TNA, they went down yesterday. They were at $23.88. So what I did is I sold a put at $20. Again, it was kind of risky selling puts on TSLL and TNA, because I'm almost dipping into the margin. Again, we'll see. But again, this is 16.25% out of the money. I mean, safe as hell, right? Expires next week. Delta 0.13. What did I get for it? 30 cents per share. $30. 60% annualized. So to me, I feel good about it. I feel like it's safe, but you never know. This, again, is a tariff tweet, and boom, we're screwed. All right, so as far as the other positions that do expire tomorrow, how am I sitting? Well, let's take a look. Right now we have four calls expiring this Friday. The lowest call is at 24. Currently TNA is at 25.46. So that 24, which is 5.73% in the money, that will have to be rolled probably today. The 25, again, we'll see how the day goes. Because you see TNA is at 25.46. We'll see how it goes, but I may roll that tomorrow if I need to. And then obviously these others they're 28 and 29. They're not in any trouble. So those will probably expire worthless. And then I'll have 200 shares for next week to trade with. And then obviously I have this $30 call, which that should be safe when all said and done. But we'll see. Next week could bring a whole different, all different numbers. But again, the name of the game is income. How we make an income through options premium. All right, monthly tab. I can't do the pivot table anymore, just FYI. So I'm going to do it a little different because, again, I can't do the pivot because I have various tabs per ticker. So I will, I guess I'll make this pretty eventually. But for the month of April, how much did I make? I made $50 on MSTY. I made $415 on TSLL. I made $402 on NVDX, and then $572 with TNA. I made $1,439. Is that enough money? Well, at least it covers the mortgage, so that's what matters. So it's not bad, it's not fantastic, but it's good enough. So that's the update on options. So keep in mind that 1,439 number, right? Because that's going to get added to now my Retire Now income for the month of April. speaking of retire now account, let's get to it. It's right here. All right, so we're gonna go to the 430 tab, obviously. So what went on this month? A lot went on. So the market took a crap shoot of a crap. That was happening for a while, but obviously as of late, it's been recovering. So what I did, I got rid of some funds. PLTY, I was eventually going to get rid of anyway because I wanted to add that one to my dividend car account. And the reason for that is it pays weekly now. And the dividend car account is my weekly paying account. So I got rid of it for that reason and for the reason of I'm making this, and it was eventually turning into this, a full-blown options premium trading account. Obviously, MSTY is really the only holding left because I did sell PLTY, I sold SMCY, and I sold FEPI as well. Again, because it's an options account now, officially an options account. MSTY, although it's a holding, it's not off the hook. I'm going to sell calls on it whenever my cost basis is actually, back in the ballpark, which could be for a while. So for now, it's just kind of like a buy and hold. Because MSTY is, by the way, 50% margin maintenance. Well, last I checked with Schwab, so that's pretty good. So when I say I sold out of these, obviously capital-wise, I took a hit. I did take a hit in selling PLTY, even FEPI and SMCY. And you can see the gain loss, that's for capital. I took a hit of $5,539 in, capital loss. However, in dividends, lifetime dividends for those, I did make $6,454. So if you think about it, overall, it was a profit, buying and holding those and selling those in the end of $915. So it wasn't a complete loss. FEPI, though, was actual loss when you look at the totals. PLTY, it was a profit of 2.33%, and SMCY, really great fund, profit of 11.44%. So, yeah, those are kind of the numbers. But yeah, moving on from those, and basically MSTY is, we'll call it the only buy and hold at the moment. But again, it's not safe. I will sell calls on it when I can. All right, so current allocation, my account is 20% MSTY. It's 18% TSLL. It's 26% TNA and 4% NVDX, and then 30% cash. So monthly distribution wise, I made $584. Well, actually, let's look at the breakdown. I made $50 in options premium, and then I made $534 from the distribution for MSTY. For TSLL, I made $76.03 from their distribution, and then I made $415 from options trading. And then TNA, I made $20.66 from their distribution, and then $572 from options trading. And then last but not least, NVDX, I made $402 for options trading. I did not get a distribution payment from them. So overall for the month, with options, with distributions, I made $2,161.53. So again, not fantastic, as you'll see in a second. I did not hit my goal. I'm kind of struggling a little bit, to be honest, because of the recent sell-off, and I'll show you the numbers here. I'll maybe keep like the last 3 months to see how far I can zoom in. Yeah, that's good enough, I guess. So you'll look here. My goal for the month of April was $2,794 in income. But of course, that was based on, a larger amount, right? It was based on C34, $67,000. But, things have changed. Oh, let me fix that. There you go. Obviously, my capital has gone down significantly. So I have to keep that in mind. So what I did is I did add new money. I did add $250, which is not a lot of money, but I did what I could. I added $250 new money, which boosts up my capital. And I did deduct out the hit that I took on the capital loss. So you'll see that's deducted here. So the new monthly goal capital-wise is $63,000. However, I did close at $48,597. It was worse, much worse. So it did get, it's getting better lately. So I have to do one of two things: hope the market goes up, or just keep adding new money when I can. However, ignoring the estimate side, I still made 2,161. Look at the mortgage on column J in blue. That's the only external money. That's the bill. That's the only bill I'm paying out of this account. $1,300 comes out of the account the first of every month. Obviously, today's the first, so $1,300 is coming out of the account, and that is going to pay the mortgage. Now, since I did make 2,161, that is enough to pay the mortgage. So, and then some. Left over, I did have 39% of that income that I could reinvest into the account. And that's what matters. Again, I want more than that. I want preferably over 50%. But you guys see on my options trading account, I'm kind of in the hole. So I'm kind of playing it easy. I'm doing the low deltas. I'm doing the right thing. But again, that's why I'm not making, like, you see the prior income, 2,700. Look at it. Oh my God. This income was insane. But again, in order for me to not destroy my account, I got to play it safe, right? I have all these shares. I'm a bag holder. I got to sell calls further out of the money so I do not get assigned, so I do not lose capital. If I lose capital, then whenever that upside comes back, whenever the market turns around, I could miss out on that. And I don't want to do that because, you see where my account was. It was at 60. Where's the high? 66,000. Again, obviously bills are coming out, mortgages coming out now, but still, it still should be around, you see the new number, 63,000, and I'm at 48. So again, we got to help it get there. We got to hope the market does what it does, and then obviously I'll do my part in making some options premium. Will I add new money? Again, maybe I'll try to do another 250 this month for the month of May, and then we'll go from there. Again, I don't really have that much excess money that I can put in, but I'll do what I can, and we'll see. So yeah, that's the update. And again, so should I update my estimate number, right? Should I modify my estimate number, on the left? And I don't want to. I'm not going to yet because I feel like I can recover. However, this capital, again, it's just not attainable right now. And it's just, I'm like so far away. So I may need to do like a random modification. We'll see how May goes. But right now, again, am I going to have a $64,000 in capital? Probably not. So I may have to just say, all right, let me square back and I'll essentially maybe put it to whatever I close at for the month of May. And then we'll start over for new capital. And then we'll go from there. I don't know. It's just a thought. Because again, when I do look at the scrolling down the future to see where I'm at, but this may not happen if my capital is going to be a little less. So again, the market took a beating. So this is like, it's not like, we lost money for nothing. The tariffs, and whatever, they whooped our ass. So, and now it's time, it looks like the worst maybe is behind us. Hopefully, I don't know. Who the hell knows? But, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But the moral of the story is it's all good. It's all good. It's all okay. We're still paying the mortgage. We're still reinvesting 39% of the money back into the fund. It's just we lost a lot of capital on the funds that we do own because the market tanked. And there's nothing you could do about that, right? And I did hit my goal yield based on the money that I do have. I yielded 53%. You can see at the top left, the new yield goal is 50%. So at least there's that. So obviously, yeah, for the month of May, this is what we're dealing with. We have MSTY, TSLY, TNA, and NVDX. The future, more than likely, will not have NVDX. It'll have UPRO and TQQQ in there. And that's pretty much what I'm going to be playing with. A bunch of indexes and MSTY. Although I consider MSTY kind of its own index for Bitcoin, even though it's MSTR is the underlying. So it does carry the individual, stock risk for that. But anyway, that's the update for YieldMax. That's the update for my options trading, and that's the update for my Retire Now account. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know via the like button, or you feel free to leave a comment down below. Of course, you guys know this, but as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, then we'll try again tomorrow. Again, I'll do my best to get the dividend car update completed today so I can cover it tomorrow. If not, it'll be in a later video, soon, of course. And so stay tuned for that. I know a lot of people like the dividend car, but this is pretty much the same thing. It just pays the mortgage. The dividend car, it pays the car plus a lot of other bills as well. But the mortgage is the big bill, for me at least. Mortgage and, of course, property taxes, but that doesn't come out of the brokerage. Property taxes are insane in frickin' New Jersey. But anyway, guys, that's the long-ass video, so I'm going to end it there. Obviously, we said not financial advice. We said if you like it, hit the like button. So we got to think about a keyword. So the keyword today, I don't know. What is the keyword, by the way? So the keyword is, if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to type in whatever the hell the keyword is. And to be honest, I don't even have a keyword. But what's up? Yeah, I got a keyword. It's a question though. What is your goal yield like for your account when you stack up all the numbers, when all said and done for the month? Like, for example, April, what was your goal yield? Mine's 50%. And that's based on, of course, distribution yield and options premium income. So obviously I yielded 53%, which, it's good. Not fantastic, it's good. And it's above my 50% goal. But what is your goal yield in your account? Let me know in the comments below. And that'll be the keyword. And then that way I'll know, and others will know, that you watched the entire video. And that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Later.